Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. As the Miami Dolphins gear up for the 2025 season, the national media has already delivered a clear verdict on their prospects, and it's not exactly glowing. After a disappointing 2024 campaign that ended with fans and analysts alike questioning the team's direction, Miami enters Week 1 with a cloud of skepticism hanging overhead. A survey of 9 major outlets, including Sports Illustrated, Pro Football Talk, CBS Sports, and NFL.com, The Athletic, ESPN, The Ringer, USA Today, and The Sporting News, reveals that the Dolphins are widely perceived as a team far from playoff contention. Averaging a rank of 25.4 across these publications, the Dolphins sit well outside the top-tier teams, signaling national doubt about their ability to rebound. While some pockets of optimism exist, particularly from The Athletic, which slots them at 19th, the overwhelming narrative is one of caution. Analysts point to key injuries, questions in the secondary, and a roster transition that has left the team searching for consistent leadership on both sides of the ball. Sports Illustrated's assessment paints a portrait of a team shrouded in uncertainty, emphasizing the heavy reliance on defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. With Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane sidelined by injuries and Tua Tagovailoa's own health history under scrutiny, the Dolphins' success appears tied closely to the defensive unit's ability to sustain last year's top 10 performance. Despite boasting offensive weapons like Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the strategic mind of Mike McDaniel, the publication concedes that predicting outcomes for Miami is exceptionally difficult. The narrative suggests a season defined by highs and lows, where explosive offensive potential could be undermined by defensive lapses or inconsistent quarterback play. For fans, the tension between hope and realism is palpable, leaving them to wonder if the team can navigate the challenges posed by injuries, roster changes, and the weight of expectations without faltering under pressure, particularly in a competitive AFC landscape. Pro Football Talk adopts a more sardonic tone, projecting Tyreek Hill as the team's primary hope for a standout season, likening him to a new-age Davante Adams poised to carry the offense. This perspective underscores the perceived fragility of the Dolphins' offensive strategy, suggesting that without Hill's exceptional playmaking abilities, Miami may struggle to generate the momentum necessary for a playoff push. The commentary reflects broader concerns regarding depth and adaptability, highlighting how injuries or missteps by a single player could cascade into significant setbacks. Analysts imply that while talent exists on the roster, structural challenges in execution and the pressure on the coaching staff could result in a roller coaster season. Fans are left to reconcile excitement over star power with apprehension regarding team cohesion, emphasizing that Miami's fate may hinge on individual brilliance rather than a consistent, collective performance throughout the 2025 campaign. CBS Sports strikes a balance between caution and cautious optimism, noting that while the Dolphins' offense is capable of high-level production, uncertainties within the secondary threaten to derail playoff ambitions. The article frames 2025 as a pivotal year for Mike McDaniel, whose strategic decisions and ability to adapt to challenges will likely define the team's success. Analysts emphasize that the combination of a talented offensive core and lingering defensive concerns creates a precarious equilibrium. Miami's fans are encouraged to temper expectations while remaining excited about the potential explosiveness of the passing game. This duality encapsulates the complex narrative surrounding the Dolphins, a roster brimming with talent that simultaneously faces structural vulnerabilities, demanding both patience and vigilant support from their fan base as the season unfolds week by week. NFL.com provides a nuanced perspective, acknowledging early pessimism but offering a measured reassessment that slightly improves Miami's ranking. The outlet emphasizes that while finishing ahead of divisional rivals such as the Patriots would be an achievement, the Dolphins' offensive arsenal remains a powerful weapon. However, the burden of performance rests heavily on McDaniel, Tagovailoa, and Hill, with the offense needing consistent execution to compensate for gaps created by off-season roster departures. Analysts caution that the team's trajectory will likely fluctuate, displaying moments of contender-level performance interspersed with frustrating losses to lesser opponents. The balance between schedule favorability and player health becomes crucial, framing the Dolphins' path as one dependent on both strategic acumen and circumstantial luck, making early season outcomes essential in setting the tone for potential playoff contention. The Ringer captures the emotional appeal of Miami's roster, highlighting McDaniel's adaptation of the Shanahan system and the impressive athleticism surrounding Tua Tagovailoa. Despite this, skepticism persists due to concerns over defensive depth and the capacity to replace departed stars like Christian Wilkins. Analysts praise the team's drafting strategy, which targeted pass rushers, but point out that key contributors such as Bradley Chubb remain on the PUP list, leaving questions about defensive sustainability. The narrative portrays a team brimming with explosive potential, yet constrained by structural vulnerabilities, suggesting a season that could swing dramatically based on injury luck and defensive execution. For fans, the allure of high-octane offense is tempered by the realism of defensive deficiencies, crafting a story of cautious optimism that hinges on performance in high-pressure situations and consistency over the long haul. USA Today focuses on internal dynamics and injury management, noting that training camp setbacks for key players amplify uncertainties about early season performance. Analysts warn that even a traditionally strong start under McDaniel might not be guaranteed, raising concerns about the team's capacity to adapt to in-game challenges and maintain momentum. The commentary emphasizes organizational factors, including locker room cohesion and the impact of off-field dynamics on performance, framing 2025 as a season where intangible factors could heavily influence results. Fans are prompted to consider not just the raw talent on display, but also the resilience and adaptability of both players and coaching staff as the team navigates an early schedule that could dictate the tone for the rest of the season. The Sporting News highlights the urgency for a strong opening performance, particularly against the Indianapolis Colts, whose own average power ranking hovers near the Dolphins at 25.9. Analysts stress that early losses could place McDaniel on the proverbial hot seat, emphasizing how fragile job security can be in high-stakes NFL environments. The narrative portrays Miami's season as one where momentum is both critical and fleeting, with early victories potentially building confidence and credibility, while defeats may magnify pressure on coaching and roster decisions. Fans are encouraged to watch the early matchups closely, as the outcomes may foreshadow the team's capacity to compete for a playoff berth or risk early season derailment, reinforcing the notion that the first weeks carry disproportionate weight in shaping public perception. The Athletic offers the most optimistic outlook, emphasizing growth and adaptation among key offensive players, particularly Tyreek Hill, who is now reportedly more engaged in understanding the team's scheme. Analysts note the potential impact of running back Devon Achane's recovery on Sunday's opener and praise the development of rookie Ollie Gordon II as a potential contributor. This assessment underscores the idea that individual preparation and attentiveness can translate into tangible on-field performance, suggesting that Miami's offensive unit possesses a higher ceiling than some national media indicate. Fans are presented with a narrative of potential redemption, where learning curves and renewed focus may enable the Dolphins to surpass expectations, provided health and execution align throughout the early stages of the season. ESPN offers a sobering analysis of the offensive line, defensive instability, and edge-rushing uncertainties, framing 2025 as a career-defining season for McDaniel. Analysts stress that the combination of Tua's potential, Hill and Waddle's skill sets, and a porous defense could produce dramatic highs and lows, making the season unpredictable. The commentary underscores the fragile balance between talent and execution, where a single injury or breakdown in strategy could have cascading effects. Fans are encouraged to watch closely, as the interplay between high-end playmaking and structural weaknesses may define the team's trajectory. The narrative positions Miami as a team with tantalizing upside, yet a precarious foundation, highlighting the tension between optimism and realism in shaping fan expectations and media perception alike. Looking ahead, the Dolphins' matchup against the Colts offers an early gauge of the team's capacity to defy skepticism. With Indianapolis averaging a near-identical ranking of 25.9, analysts suggest the opener could serve as a litmus test for Miami's potential playoff viability. The media consensus implies that the outcome of this first contest may influence not only national perception, but internal confidence and strategic adjustments for the remainder of the season. Fans are primed for a high-stakes encounter where performance under pressure could set the tone for the Dolphins' narrative in 2025, balancing between hope for offensive fireworks and anxiety over defensive fragility. As Week 1 approaches, the Dolphins stand at a crossroads, embodying both promise and uncertainty, with the entire NFL world watching to see which version of the team will emerge. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Dalvin Cook, one of the most electrifying running backs in the NFL over the past decade, has reportedly landed in Miami to finalize a one-year contract with the Dolphins, sparking a wave of speculation and excitement among fans and analysts alike. Sources close to the situation suggest that Cook's arrival could signal a shift in Miami's offensive strategy, potentially pairing him with the team's existing playmakers to create a dynamic and versatile backfield that defenses will struggle to contain. The timing of this move is particularly intriguing, as it comes amid a period of uncertainty around the Dolphins roster, leaving many to wonder how this signing could impact the team's performance in both the short and long term. Rumors indicate that Cook's decision to join Miami may be influenced by a desire to compete in a high-profile offense, one that could position him for success while also elevating the team's overall competitiveness in the league. Whispers from inside the Dolphins organization suggest that the front office has been aggressively pursuing veteran talent to complement their young core, with Cook emerging as a top priority due to his proven ability to break tackles, create explosive plays, and shoulder a significant workload in critical game situations. Insiders speculate that negotiations between Cook and the Dolphins were expedited by mutual interest, with both sides seeing a perfect fit in terms of style, opportunity, and timing. The league-wide chatter surrounding this potential deal has intensified in recent days, as pundits dissect what Cook's arrival might mean for Miami's offensive balance, depth chart, and overall identity. While official confirmation is still pending, sources say that contracts have been drafted and logistics are being handled, suggesting that a formal announcement could be imminent. The energy surrounding this possible acquisition has sparked a surge of social media activity, with fans speculating about game-changing combinations and imagining scenarios in which Cook transforms the Dolphins' offensive attack. Adding Dalvin Cook to Miami's roster would provide the team with a highly experienced and dynamic back who has consistently demonstrated the ability to carry a team in both the running and passing games. Analysts argue that Cook's presence could open up opportunities for play action, improve third-down conversions, and add a layer of unpredictability that defenses must account for every week. Rumors suggest that Miami may also adjust its offensive line schemes to maximize Cook's strengths, emphasizing gap control, pull blocks, and outside zone runs to exploit his speed and vision. Sources indicate that coaches and front office personnel have been in intense discussions over how best to integrate him seamlessly into the system, with a focus on preserving his health while leveraging his skill set to its fullest potential. The excitement is palpable as fans and commentators alike imagine the possibilities, from game-winning drives to highlight reel plays, envisioning Cook as a key catalyst in the Dolphins' pursuit of success this season. Reports from insider circles hint that Dalvin Cook's arrival in Miami has sparked not only excitement, but also strategic recalibrations across the league, as rival teams suddenly find themselves rethinking defensive schemes when facing the Dolphins. The perception of Miami as a team capable of generating explosive offensive output could shift dramatically with Cook in the backfield, forcing opponents to consider new blitz packages, safety alignments, and run-stopping tactics. Conversations among coaches suggest that Cook's ability to read blocks, find seams, and accelerate through gaps makes him a game-altering presence, one that demands respect from linebackers and defensive coordinators alike. Rumors also indicate that contract details, while confidential, are structured to align with performance incentives, reflecting the mutual confidence between player and team in this high-stakes one-year gamble. The buzz around Miami's facilities, practice sessions, and locker room culture has intensified, with insiders hinting that Cook's professionalism and experience could serve as a model for younger players, potentially influencing the team's ethos and competitive mindset. Speculation continues regarding how Dalvin Cook's signing might affect the Dolphins' draft and free agency strategies moving forward, as the team may now pivot toward complementary pieces to bolster an already intriguing offense. Sources suggest that offensive coordinators are exploring creative ways to leverage Cook's skill set in tandem with the team's receiving core, considering schemes that blend outside runs, inside zones, and screen passes to maximize yardage and scoring potential. Rumors indicate that discussions have also included how to manage Cook's snap count effectively to reduce injury risk while keeping him impactful in critical moments of each game. Fans on social media have been dissecting potential depth chart scenarios, imagining how Cook's presence could inspire breakout performances from other players while elevating the overall tempo and rhythm of Miami's offensive unit. While nothing is finalized publicly, the undercurrent of excitement and speculation is undeniable, with many insiders already projecting the Dolphins as a more formidable opponent with Cook leading the charge on the ground. The timing of Dalvin Cook's anticipated signing in Miami is particularly noteworthy because it coincides with a period of transition for the Dolphins as they balance a mix of seasoned veterans and promising young talent in an effort to contend for a playoff spot. Sources close to the team suggest that Cook's leadership and work ethic could provide invaluable guidance to emerging players, offering mentorship on preparation, game day routines, and mental toughness. Rumors hint that internal team discussions have already begun exploring how to integrate Cook into leadership roles both on and off the field, with the expectation that his presence could foster a culture of accountability, resilience, and professionalism. Analysts suggest that a running back of Cook's caliber not only impacts the scoreboard but also sets a tone in the locker room, influencing practice intensity, strategic discussions, and the overall mindset of a team hungry to compete at the highest level. Fans have latched onto this narrative, imagining how Cook could become a centerpiece of Miami's identity and inspire a new era of excitement and competitiveness in South Florida. Insider chatter around Dalvin Cook's move to Miami hints at potential ripple effects beyond the Dolphins' own roster, with opposing teams reportedly recalibrating defensive strategies in anticipation of his unique style of play. Analysts suggest that Cook's ability to combine power, speed, and agility makes him difficult to contain in a variety of situations, whether facing stacked boxes, zone defenses, or aggressive blitzes. Rumors indicate that league scouts are poring over game film, looking for weaknesses and trends that could exploit Miami's reliance on Cook without disrupting the overall offensive scheme. Meanwhile, conversations within Miami's organization reportedly revolve around tailoring playbooks to maximize Cook's strengths while keeping opponents guessing, with creative formations, motion plays, and misdirection schemes under consideration. Fans have embraced the speculation, imagining touchdown runs, third-and-long conversions, and pivotal plays that could swing games in Miami's favor, reinforcing the growing buzz and narrative surrounding this high-profile acquisition. Sources suggest that contract negotiations between Dalvin Cook and the Dolphins were conducted with urgency, fueled by mutual interest and an alignment of goals between the player and the franchise. Rumors indicate that Cook was drawn to Miami not only for the opportunity to compete at a high level, but also for the chance to join a team that values versatility, creativity, and explosive offensive output. Insiders hint that the one-year deal may include performance incentives designed to reward production, reflecting a shared belief in Cook's ability to contribute immediately. Speculation continues about how this deal could influence Miami's offensive philosophy, with some suggesting that the coaching staff might prioritize a balanced attack featuring inside runs, outside zones, and passing combinations that highlight Cook's skills. Fans are already imagining scenarios where Cook's explosiveness forces defenses to adjust, creating opportunities for wide receivers, tight ends, and other skill players to thrive in an offense poised for high-energy, game-changing performances throughout the season. Buzz around Miami's potential signing of Dalvin Cook also emphasizes the narrative of opportunity and redemption, as many insiders suggest that this move could be mutually beneficial. The Dolphins gain a premier talent capable of transforming their offense, while Cook has the chance to showcase his abilities in a competitive environment with playoff aspirations. Rumors suggest that discussions have focused not only on scheme fit, but also on locker room culture, training regimens, and player development, all critical factors in ensuring that Cook's impact is both immediate and sustainable. Analysts have speculated on how the Dolphins might structure practices, rotations, and in-game strategies to leverage Cook's explosiveness, with particular attention to maintaining durability while maximizing effectiveness. Social media chatter reflects this excitement, with fans sharing highlight reels, play concepts, and predictions, imagining a season in which Cook's presence elevates Miami from a promising squad to a legitimate contender, creating a buzz that extends well beyond South Florida and into national NFL conversations. While the official announcement of Dalvin Cook's contract with the Dolphins remains pending, the swirling rumors and insider chatter have already generated significant anticipation among fans, media, and league insiders. Sources indicate that Cook's arrival could serve as a catalyst for additional moves, as Miami seeks to surround him with talent capable of executing an elevated offensive strategy. Discussions within the organization reportedly include considerations for supporting skill players, offensive line adjustments, and play-calling innovations to maximize the impact of a premier running back in today's NFL landscape. Fans are actively engaging in speculative debates, projecting statistics, imagining highlight plays, and anticipating key matchups where Cook could dominate. Analysts continue to dissect the potential implications, from playoff positioning to strategic adjustments for opponents, emphasizing the high stakes of this rumored acquisition. If finalized, Dalvin Cook's presence in Miami could redefine the team's identity, inject energy into every facet of the offense, and spark a level of excitement and anticipation reminiscent of the most electrifying moments in NFL history. Rumors surrounding Dalvin Cook's imminent arrival in Miami have created a whirlwind of excitement that transcends the ordinary, with insiders suggesting that the Dolphins' offense could undergo a dramatic transformation with his addition. Conversations among coaches, analysts, and former players speculate on how his combination of vision, power, and breakaway speed could be strategically deployed to create mismatches and open the field for other playmakers. Reports indicate that the Dolphins are exploring innovative ways to integrate Cook into every facet of their offensive game plan, from early down situations to third-and-long scenarios, maximizing both his impact and his versatility. Fans are already imagining stadiums erupting as Cook powers through defenses, breaking tackles, and setting the tone for high-stakes games that could define the team's season. The speculation surrounding this one-year deal has created a narrative of anticipation, strategy, and opportunity, suggesting that Dalvin Cook's presence in Miami could be far more than just a signing. It could mark the beginning of a thrilling new chapter for the Dolphins and their fans nationwide. Social media has exploded with speculation about Dalvin Cook's potential signing with the Dolphins, as fans dissect every detail, imagining how his explosive style could complement the team's existing offensive weapons. Rumors suggest that his arrival could trigger a ripple effect, impacting draft strategies, free agency priorities, and even game day play calling to capitalize on his unique skill set. Analysts argue that Cook's ability to accelerate through gaps, evade defenders, and gain critical yardage after contact makes him a rare asset capable of altering the trajectory of a season. Sources hint at strategic discussions already taking place in Miami's war room, with coaches examining how best to integrate his abilities into creative schemes that maximize scoring opportunities while maintaining a balanced defensive approach. The excitement is palpable, with fans projecting highlight reel touchdowns, game-defining runs, and the energy that Cook could bring to the Dolphins' locker room and stadiums across the league. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.